Greetings, mathematicians. I do want to show skills practice number 2 only because the leading term is a negative, and when your leading term is negative, you do want to factor out a negative GCF. So the numbers 30, 35, and 15, the GCF numerical would be 5. However, because of the negative in front, we're actually going to factor out a GCF of negative 5. So when we do that, negative 5 is factored out, and what's left is what multiplies to give us our original trinomial. So negative 5 times 6y squared, followed by a negative 7y, and a negative 5 times a negative 3 gives us our trinomial, and we need to see if this trinomial will factor further. The first and last terms are not perfect squares, so this is not a perfect square trinomial. So we're going to go straight into the AC method to see if it factors further. Our A value is 6, our B value negative 7, and our C value is negative 3. And following with the AC method, the product of A times C, in this case 6 times negative 3, is negative 18. And the AC method states we need two numbers that will multiply to give us negative 18, but when we add them, will give us our B value of negative 7. So we write our factors of 18, 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. And that takes care of the factors for 18. And now we need to worry about the sign. And this middle term actually, or the negative here or the negative 7 here, is going to tell us that the largest positive factor is going to be the one with the negative number. So the two numbers that are going to work are 2 and negative 9. 2 times negative 9 gives us negative 18. 2 plus negative 9 gives us our negative 7. So this 2 and negative 9 are going to help us split this middle term here. So we are going to write 6y squared. This 2 becomes plus 2y. This minus 9 becomes minus 9y, and then we follow along with the negative 3 for our trinomial. So this 3-term trinomial splits into a 4-term polynomial, and now we go straight into factoring by grouping. The GCF of the first two terms is 2y, so 2y gets factored out, and what's left is going to give us 3y. 2y times 3y gives us 6y squared. 2y times a plus 1 gives us our 2y. Now we look at our next group, negative 9y minus 3. Both are negative, so we are going to be factoring out a negative GCF. That negative GCF is a negative 3, so we write minus 3. And what is in the parentheses here is going to give us our negative 3 times 3y, gives us our negative 9y, and negative 3 times a positive 1 gives us our negative 3. So now this 4-term polynomial has been rewritten as a 2-term binomial with a common binomial factor of 3y plus 1. So that is going to get factored out, 3y plus 1. And in the other parentheses is what's left, 2y minus 3. And neither of these binomials will factor further, but again, do not forget our GCF of negative 5 that needs to be brought down in front, and this becomes the final answer for skills practice number 2.